Hey there, Jets Nation. Welcome back to One Jets Pod. Whether you're tuning into our video content or joining us on our audio-only platforms, we've got you covered. If you're enjoying what you hear or see, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and don't just gently tap, but smash that bell icon to stay notified whenever we drop new content. Also, we love comments and 5-star ratings. Thanks again, Jets fans. Now together, let's fuel the green and white passion. Let's go, Jets.
Welcome to Jet Life Stadium. Hit it! Hey, everybody, what's going on? This is Randy with the One Jets Pod, and I'm joined by my co-host today, Dominic Lorenz. Dominic, my brother, how are you?
Doing great. Looking forward to another week of football. Tough for the Jets. Still champagne week for the 49ers, so I'm enjoying life a little bit. I know we're missing Brandon today, but he'd agree with me. More champagne problems for the 49ers, at least for right now.
How was your Thanksgiving, brother?
Thanksgiving was great. Stayed home, relaxed with family. Didn't do too much. We got construction going on at the house, so workers coming in and out all week long. So it's good to be home and just kind of stick to the business at hand at this point.
Absolutely. Yeah, due to the Jets just being embarrassed this past week and him having to pick the Texans and them not coming through, Brandon actually quit tonight. No, I'm kidding. Brandon actually has to get up early in the morning. So we wish him well, and we'll see him next week. So we love you, Brandon, and take care, brother.
We miss you, brother. We'll see you back next week.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, we hope everybody's doing well. That's the end of the shit. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody down.
The season starts today, folks.
Yeah, it does. You know how we do it in Angels Land. No, hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Hope everybody got their fill of their turkey and whatnot. Now we move on to the Christmas holiday season, so we'll see what that brings. First, we want to talk about our weekly predictions. And once again, congratulations, Mr. Dominic.
Thank you.
Getting first place, going 12-4 this week. And he's now with a season total of 112-68. Holy crap.
We're rolling.
Yeah, you are. Our brother Brandon stays in second place this week, holding up the silver, going 11-5. Good week for him. He finishes, or I'm going to say finishes, but he improves to 111-69. One game under you, Dominic. So basically, that Texans game is what separated you guys, man.
A little bit. It was close. I know we'll talk about it, but that game didn't score as much as I was hoping for, but it was still a thriller nonetheless for that division.
Absolutely. And then Tampa Bay let him and I both down. So if Tampa Bay would have came through, Brandon and Tampa Bay came through and the Texans came through, Brandon would have took first place this week.
Yeah, it's a game. It's a game of inches. I told you. Sometimes you gotta have a little parity in the picks, and it works out in your favor. Take a risk, they say.
That's right. And then, of course, there's that Jagoff for like the fourth or fifth week in a row in third place, going 500, 8-8. But at least I improve. I get to the century mark. I'm 180, or I'm 180. Sticking the bronze trophy up my butt.
Hey, come on. If the NFL allows teams into the playoffs with a sub-500 record, Randy's better than most.
Oh, man. Of course, I had to go the stupid route and pick the Jets. The Lions let us all down.
Oh, that was a bad one to start Thanksgiving morning.
Man, that Texans-Jaguars, man, I thought the Texans had a chance. The Browns let me down. I'm the dumbass to pick the Cardinals. Ain't picking them ever again.
Hey, I was a little bit dumb, and I told you it was going to be a close game. I said Browns over Broncos, and the Broncos all of a sudden are looking like a real.
They've won, 5 straight now?
5 straight, 6-5, and they're on the cusp of a
postseason. I'm talking about pick them, and they're going to lose this week. Bunch of bastards.
You know how it goes, my friend. We've been there, done that.
But man, what a last 4, I would say the last 4 weeks have just been brutal for me. I mean, you guys have just been dominating. And of
Hey.
course, Dominic, as you guys have seen on social media and as you see on the screen here, again, 12-4 for the week, 112-68 for the season, just grinning with that weekly winner platinum chain around his neck. And hold on, here it comes. Champagne problems. Look at him. The bastard. You little shit.
Hey.
Oh, you are. Oh!
I get champagne problems while the Niners waiting 9 glorious years to eat a turkey leg on the Seattle Seahawks logo.
Congratulations to your Niners, brother.
Hey,
Holy smokes.
I loved after the game, it was Kittle, Charvarius Ward, Debo, McCaffrey, Warner, Bosa, all of them huddle around, friends at Thanksgiving. It's like, you happy? You happy? Let's eat. Like, it was just fun, brotherly love. And I love Nick Bosa. He has that very weird voice. And it's like, hey, everybody, I'm Nick Bosa. And they're like, you want turkey? He's like, I don't eat after a game, but I'll eat turkey. And I'm like, it's a very awkward
It's lean
talk.
protein.
It's lean protein. Like, I don't want to look at food after a big game like this. And it's like, but okay, if that's your diet plan, why can't I be on it and look like you? Like, come on.
Nick Bosa doesn't want to eat after games. I remember in high school, a buddy and I made a mistake of stuffing down waffles and syrup before a game, and
No, that didn't end up well.
That did not end pretty.
Oh, jeez.
But no, I mean it came against a divisional rival in the Seattle Seahawks. So like you said, you got to eat the turkey leg in the middle on that Seahawks logo.
And you go up a game in the standings, 2 up, going into that big game. And I know we'll talk about it in a little while because it's probably the premier game of the week. I'm not saying that because I'm a Niner fan, but just looking at the schedule. Niners-Eagles rematch from the NFC title game.
Oh, yeah.
Words are already being thrown at each other. The media's already going this side, that side. It's going to be a barn burner. I'm happy, though, regardless of how it goes down, that the Niners are going into the game with the 2-game lead over Seattle. That makes me feel better going into the game than if we were 500 or even or just a 1-game lead. So something to look forward to.
Absolutely. So again, congratulations on your win again this week.
Thank you.
Was that 2 or 3 weeks in a row now that you've held up the first place trophy?
2. Brandon had it, or maybe
that's right.
Brandon had it sandwiched in there somewhere.
Yeah, that's right. So back-to-back weeks for Dom. So again, congratulations to you, brother, man. You guys are just dominating right now.
We'll keep it rolling. Stick around in a little while for more picks from us.
There you go. All right, so we're just going to do a quick recap. I mean, there's really nothing to talk about when it comes to this Dolphins-Jets recap. I'm going to go over a few numbers here. And real quick, like at this point, I don't understand why the Jets don't go for it on a 4th down. Like, just screw the punt. And I don't have the numbers, and I don't know why I didn't get those. But we seem to do really well on 4th down because, again, 5 for 14 on 3rd down, dude.
That's under 50%, under 30 or just above 30%.
Here we go again.
Yeah, it's the same. This was a game where it was, for lack of a better term, business as usual for the Jets, and it wasn't good business. It was just the same recycled stuff over and over, and it didn't matter, I think, if it was Zach Wilson, Boyle, Simeon. I don't think it really mattered who was under center for that game. The Jets were going to be the Jets and do what they had to do. The defense did not give up like they did the previous week and look horrible in the second half. Mm-hmm. But when your offense isn't doing anything, what's your drive to get off the field faster or get back on the field faster? There's really no drive. What I did like from the Jets, even though it didn't equate as many points as it maybe should have, it's funny. When they went up-tempo offense, they moved the ball pretty decently. Yeah. And then, of course, a couple of times it got hindered because of a pick, or 4th down didn't go their way, or an interception, or something happened. But they were able to
probably.
Yeah, they moved down the field and got 30 or 40 yards at least, and didn't have a 3-and-out with up-tempo offense. And even if it was check downs or whatever, up-tempo offense works. So we talked about it with Zach Wilson of open the playbook, cut him loose a little bit, get him some space, and up-tempo offense.
Yeah.
They didn't do it.
No.
Boyle got it a little bit, and at least you saw they were at least moving in the right direction. It wasn't constant 3-and-outs.
Yeah. Still horrible game planning. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
You got a guy in there that understands the offense. Like, you should have opened it up way more. I don't understand. 10 rush attempts? Really? Really? Like, I don't think Nate Hackett likes to run the ball.
No.
You got a guy like Breece Hall, and you aren't utilizing him at least 18, 20 carries a game. Like, that's insane to me, dude.
You know, I think it's one of those situations where if you do look at his splits, he was only getting 3.6 yards a carry. If you take away his longest carry of 11 yards, he had 6 carries for 14 yards. So there really wasn't much running game, and the game breakdown did not dictate them to run the ball. You know, early on, if you really, really, really look at the game cast and the box score, 3-0 after one quarter.
Mhm.
And then the Dolphins get a touchdown to Tyreek Hill, 10-0. But then the Jets with that big defensive 30-yard interception return touchdown. Yes, Greg Zuerlein missed the extra point, but it's still a one-possession game. So you're about very, very late in the first half before, destruction happened that we're going to talk about, because I have my feelings on the 99-yard interception return from the Dolphins. Before that happened, with 58 seconds remaining, you could potentially go into halftime down 4. Go make your adjustments and see what happens in the second half. To me, the throw by Boyle to the end zone, the Hail Mary.
Fail Mary. You call it what it is, the Fail Mary.
The Fail Mary. I get it. I get it, Jets fans, and I get it, Jets coaches. You're trying to swing the momentum in your favor and make a miracle happen out of this season. I get the little kid in all of us in the playground throwing Hail Marys when the bell rings at recess. I get it. 100%, in my opinion, that is ill-advised throw.
I would have just needed and took it in halftime, dude.
There was 9 seconds left or something, whatever the time, 3 or 6, whatever.
When he threw the Hail Mary?
Yeah. What was
I
it?
think it was only 2 seconds left on the clock.
Okay, so there wasn't enough to do like a 15-yard out route to the out of bounds line. No. I would have, because where was that play? That was near midfield in that sense. Like 49-yard line or wherever it was at.
Around there.
Okay. Give Zuerlein an opportunity to kick a 65-yard field goal and make history. Like, I would have rather seen a shit field goal attempt and miss and be like, okay.
No time left on the clock,
no time left on the clock than that. And especially when you send guns blazing everybody out, who's going to defend? A 6-foot, 175-pound sprinter against an offensive lineman. I give it up for Boyle. Boyle tried to run him down. Like, what are you gonna do? But
when you saw that unfold, at what point did you think in your mind, okay, he's gonna score? For me, it was as soon as he got to the 50, I'm like, oh, he's gone. This is beep beep. See you later. Bye.
Yeah, because when he went far out and then came back into the near side, that was your last opportunity. So between the 40 and the 50, and then when he got past 2 offensive linemen and got some blocker help, and you knew Tim Boyle was last, I'm like, maybe Boyle's got it in him and he could have an MVP season just for that play only.
Yeah.
And it was dead to rights. So that at that point, going into half, instead of a 4-point deficit, you completely cut yourself at the legs. And at that point, you knew the air was set. You saw Robert Saleh.
I mean, the momentum was starting to shift. I mean, we'd already had 2 turnovers there right before the half, 2 interceptions.
You got to Tua at that point. So the first half before the interception, opportunities were there for the Jets to continuously stay in the contest. And again, 10-6 at half. Any Jets fan is taking that at the half based on what happened in the first half of play.
Hell yeah.
But after that interception, they held the Dolphins to a field goal, so it's 20-6. Still only a 2-possession game going into the fourth. You are still alive. But then Mostert, and then, Garrett Wilson gets the touchdown. First touchdown in a while for Garrett Wilson. Too little too late at that point. That interception really changed the momentum. And I just don't agree with the play call. Nothing's going right for you this season. What do you think, or why in God's name do you think God's going to say, okay, from this point on, it's the Jets. We're going to be in favor of Jets. You're going to choose it up on that play? Again, the recess kid in me says go for it. The adult in me says, how about throw a 30-yard pass and try a little lateral BS?
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't even get it into the end zone. I mean, it was what, a yard or two short. I'm like,
yeah. Or if you're the Jets,
you aren't that bad. You couldn't get it. You couldn't give all the guys inside the end zone a chance at that ball. And we threw it right to the guy. I mean, it dived right at the guy.
In those situations, as a play caller, when you're drawing up the scheme, to me, if there's 4 receivers in the area, 3 of them should be going for the ball, and the other one, if they are intelligent enough with the IQ, are seeing how the play's developing and who's covering who, their one job, that 4th receiver's job, should be to knock it down like a volleyballer and call, okay, it's not happening, we're done. Yep. Or be a couple yards short and kind of direct the play and be like, this side, your ball, you're kind of like a fair catch in baseball. But there should be one person down the line to prevent that from happening, the interception return, to literally be a volleyballer and just say, halftime, knocking it down.
Yeah.
Don't even try that. Not, oh, I'm going to tip it up like a, Rick Rack, whatever, because you're going to get psycho stuff like that they catch the ball. Look at Julian Edelman in the Super Bowl against the Falcons. It double tapped and he caught it with like pinches to go and they win the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Shit like that happens, folks. Don't give it up to chance. When you're the Jets, who have crummy chances and crummy, probability, spike it down.
Yep.
Don't do it.
Oh, man. And once again, the penalties, not only, horrible on third down, the penalties, dude. I mean, we started the game, I think it was Quentin Jefferson. He's headbutting the guy.
Yep.
And then I forget who it was. I think it might have been Michael Clemens or somebody. He didn't mean to, but he stuck his arm out and he fucking hit the ref, dude. And I'm like, oh, like,
and those are the tough ones. I get the rule where if you do make contact with an official, it's a penalty. I get it, but here's the one thing about that.
He's like up in the fray trying to break shit up, though. Like
where the NFL and the refs have to have a little feel. If you're in the middle of melee and you're trying to break up the melee, that's like if you get hit, like not like pulverized, but if you kind of just get a little knockage, have a little feel.
Or someone gets bumped into you or something.
If a ref gets cold cocked in the face, I get it.
That's totally different. Yeah. You should put punches out there anyway, regardless.
Exactly. So when you're in that situation, you got to have a little feel for the situation, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
But again, in this case scenario, letter of the law, you make contact with the ref. I get the call. Not a favorable call. And he knew as soon as he kind of made contact, he was just like,
yep.
It's like you couldn't have been like 6 inches away when this happened. Like it was the minimalist thing. And then I love how Amazon Prime zooming in and they're like seeing him spit up just like a little piece of blood. It's like, you make it sound like he's like his jaw.
Yeah, hey, turn around, bam.
Yeah, like come on, like I saw
blood and teeth.
Do we not remember the NFC title game where Trent Williams pulled somebody back and threw him to the ground and reverse body slammed? And that got no flag because remember, there was no contact with the ref. Should it have been a penalty by letter of the law?
Yeah.
Sure. But were the Niners down by like 30 and was I already pissed off? Take that boy down. Take him down. Lord.
Oh, man.
But but to your point, the Jets allowed 7 sacks. Not good.
Yep.
And
after last week giving up 6, that's 13 sacks in 2 weeks.
And both teams had 6 penalties.
Yeah.
Jets had more yardage, 60-38. Yeah. Both teams had turnovers. Dolphins had more turnovers than the Jets.
So after you got a couple extra personal fouls.
That too. So, and the time of possession, 10-minute difference.
10-minute difference. Yeah, that's.
And, total yards, 395 to 159.
Yeah, dude, they put it on us, bro. It's
I'm
embarrassing, Dom.
but
Fucking embarrassing. Everybody, the whole country was watching us, dude.
I knew. And what did I tell you last week on the show? Tyreek Hill's going to go off and get a tutty.
Yep.
9 for 102 and a tutty. Thank you. Come again. It's the same. Again, it's the same script. The O-line wasn't great. Too many sacks. Defense kind of gave up because I get it. They're frustrated. You saw the offense and Breece Hill and Dalvin Cook frustrated. They've been frustrated. Boyle looks dejected because he's like, I know I have an opportunity, but I'm trying to work with what I can work with. It's just a recipe for disaster.
Dude, look at this. Total yards for us is 159, right?
Yeah.
We'll take all 7 sacks away. Say we have a good day, we don't give up any sacks.
Yeah.
Dude, you give us that 49 yards, and it's barely just over 200 yards total offense.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing, dude.
Your leading receiver has 44 yards, so it's more short passes. The longest reception was Breece Hall of 13, but it was a check down where he yak monstered it yards after the catch.
And why aren't we doing that more when he's not having a day on the ground, when he's having trouble? Why aren't we getting him more in the wide open?
And that is why I told you and Brandon weeks ago, your receivers, all of them, and this includes Garrett Wilson, because even though he's great, you can't he can't be your only target in the game, right?
Right.
These wide receivers for the Jets and tight ends need to get better at blocking.
Oh, my God.
And create gaps. Like, I'm spoiled with the 49ers. I'm spoiled when it comes to every single person on that field knowing how to block and create gaps. The Jets don't. It's like they're just playing two-hand touch and then they let go. You got to go in there and you got to work on your technique on the block. It's like you're barely getting to a guy to a block, and as soon as he makes a little shimmy, he's gone, and the defender's past you.
Yep.
They got to tighten up that blocking, because if you can tighten up the blocking, you can get at least an extra block to get 3 or 4 extra yards, to get that extra hole. Breece Hall gets an extra open hole. Who knows? He can shimmy and shake and bake his way down an extra 15, 20 yards.
Oh, he will.
Garrett Wilson, if you get 2 blockers in front of him on a little screen, little bubble screen, separate the two, create the lane, boom.
That's at least 30.
The blocking is just very basic training camp. I'm just going to kind of lightly touch you, but I'm not going to, you're not holding. They're like in between not touching and holding, where it's just kind of like,
yeah,
I'm going to tap you and block you with palms. It's like, come on, get in there.
It's stuff like that, the stuff with the penalty. It just shows just how undisciplined this fucking team is, man. And it's so frustrating week in, week out, because it's like I said last week, I believe. It's like every time there's a positive play, it's like you can't cheer. You can't say anything because you're just like, you're waiting for the flag. And I would say 7 times out of 10, Dom, the flag's there. So it's like anytime a positive play happens, there's no point in cheering. And when you do cheer, it's like you feel stupid afterward because you're just like, oh, well, just wasted that. Now I don't want to cheer no more.
At the end of the day, how much can we really ramble on about it? It's the same recycle.
Yeah, I'm ready to move on.
And it's
I mean, look at me, bro.
Yeah,
I don't even want to wear jet shit. I got a little AI
Fresno.
I'm gonna build this in the future, y'all. AI Fresno. We got the Fresno in the F in the shield. We got Fresno right here. I'm wearing my Grizzlies hat. I'm wearing a blank blue shirt. I don't want to represent the Jets this week, and we're gonna go ahead and move on from this Dolphins game, because I still got to talk about this tomorrow night on another podcast. So, all right. So now we're going to go ahead and move into our predictions now that we're done with the recap. Again, Dominic, thank you for joining me here tonight. Unfortunately, Brandon couldn't be with us, but we do have his picks with us, I should say.
We have the secret sauce.
We do.
We have it. And what do we dare kind of erase and kind of change some of his picks to get you back?
Oh, absolutely. Anything we don't agree with, that's automatic change.
Yeah, I know. We need a little, in honor of college football, Randy needs a little sign stealing scandal. A little Jim Harbaugh. I'm going to be honest, sidebar on that one. Witch hunt. And
teach him to take some work so early.
Man, that's a witch. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure Jets fans. I don't know how many Michigan fans are out there. I'm a USC fan, so I have no room to talk. But NCAA, Jim Harbaugh, witch hunt. Come on, stop sign stealing. Yeah, college football did more for sign stealing than Major League Baseball did to the Houston Astros. That's all I'm going to say about that.
And speaking of USC real quick, our buddy Rob, from the Angels pages, he's telling me, man, if Fresno State and USC happen to meet up in a bowl, he's I don't care. I'm getting your ass down here. You're coming to watch it. All right. So
that'd be a hell of a good time right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Fresno State keeps losing. They've lost 3 straight now. They keep losing. They won't be. They'll be seeing the toilet bowl.
Hey, USC lost 5 of their final 6, so let's not.
They might.
Fight on went to sea in the grave at that point.
Man. All right. So again, we are doing our week 13 predictions. Again, coming out of week 12, Dominic took the week. Again, Dominic goes, what was your record this week? 12 and 4. Going 112 and 68 on the season. Brandon goes 11 and 5 this week, going 111 and 69 on the season. And of course, I finished at least 500, but I go an abysmal 8 and 8 this past week, but improving to 180. So at least I finally reached the century mark. So
the season starts tonight.
Season starts tonight.
Let's go.
Officially starts tonight. Going undefeated this week. This is the week. I promise you, this is the week I go undefeated.
You got to keep turning into the end of the season. See if he does indeed get the perfect.
Man, it's gonna happen, and when it happens, I'm like, I called it.
Yeah. Just you got if that ever happens, we got to compilate every week that you said it until the final moment that it happened.
I'm getting the extra platinum chain that week.
Yeah. You can have all the champagne you want.
Oh, or it's going to be like the Tupac "How Do You Want It" video. Anyways, so first game on the docket for week 13, Thursday night on Prime, we got the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Seattle Seahawks. The Cowboys are at home, and they're favored by 7.5. Dominic, what are your thoughts on this game, and who do you got?
Well, as a Niner fan, you don't like to see both of these teams on the schedule. And either way, I got to pick one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Coming into the week, the Niners picking up a win on Thanksgiving night, eating the turkey leg on Seattle's field was nice. So getting a 2-game lead over the Seahawks in the NFC West.
Huge.
It's going to be one of those situations where if Dallas scratch our back and we scratch their back by beating the Eagles, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But in all fairness, regardless of how I feel about both these teams individually as a Niner fan, Dallas is just playing better football right now.
Absolutely.
Seattle's got too many inconsistencies on offense. Their defense is a little weak in the knees at times, not at times, but more so of the time than not. Dallas at home, prime time. I hate to say it, Dak Prescott has been playing very good football.
Yeah, yes.
And Dallas is into the trap of the Miami Dolphins. They beat the teams they should beat, but they don't beat the good teams. This is, even though Seahawks are 6-4, or pardon me, 6-5. Pardon me, 6-5. Yes, they have a game over 500, but to me, they're a team that Dallas on paper should beat. They're better at every single level.
Yep.
So I got Dallas in this game. So regardless of what happens in the 49er game, the Niners will still at least hold their 2-game lead or better going into Sunday. So that would be beneficial to us, to, faithful to the Bay. So I'm going to go Dallas in this game. 7.5 points seems fair. I could see them winning by 10 or more points in that scenario. For Brandon, because I'll be reviewing Brandon's picks as well, he is going to join me on the Cowgirl bandwagon and say Dallas Cowboys over Seattle.
Yep, sure does. And you know what? YEEHAW, yeehaw. I'm joining the bandwagon. I'm picking the Cowboys. I mean, how can you not? Like you said, Dom, you just literally just said they are playing great football right now.
I hate it. I hate it.
He's one of the better quarterbacks in the league. He's playing hot right now. That Thanksgiving game was phenomenal. He's scarfing down turkey legs himself. The Dallas Cowboys have now put themselves in the conversation as Super Bowl contenders. You know, you look at the NFC, it's the 49ers, or excuse me, it's the Philadelphia Eagles, it's the San Francisco 49ers, it's the Dallas Cowboys right now, and you can sprinkle in maybe the Detroit Lions, but the Detroit Lions are kind of playing iffy football right now. So,
but again, as I said, the Cowboys are like the Dolphins. They need to start beating equal or better teams.
Yep.
I don't care what the record
That's
says.
why I got them number 3 on that list.
Seattle is not an equal team, even though the record is only, 2 games apart?
Yeah.
No. This is 2 separate ball clubs at this point. And Dallas, if you really look, and I don't want to make this an all Dallas, but this is just a good point to the situation at hand. Dallas's upcoming schedule is tough based on records. Seattle, 6-5. Then they got to stay home and take on the Eagles, which could have division leading implications.
Yep.
Then they're going to Buffalo. Then they're going to the Dolphins, coming home to Detroit, and then ending the year against the Commanders. So their next 5 games are against quality playoff opponents. So it'll be interesting to see when we get to, after Monday Night Football on December the 30th and we get to New Year's Eve, what does this Dallas team look like? Are they cruising through this 5-game stretch, or are they 2-3, 3-2, and they have their, type moments like they normally do? So for now, they're rolling, and it's how sweep it is.
How sweep it, absolutely clean sweep. Dallas Cowboys. All right, let's move on to Sunday, December 3rd. First game on the docket. We got the Indianapolis Colts at the Tennessee Titans. We got the Indianapolis Colts favored by 1.5. I'm going to be straight up. I'm going to pick the Colts. I probably should have picked them this past week. Tampa Bay let me down.
Yep.
But Tennessee is just, they are not good. This is a divisional game, and the Colts are the better team. You got a rookie quarterback. You got I believe you got Gardner Minshew over here with Indianapolis. I think it's just going to come down to quarterback play and honestly the running back too.
Yeah, the big difference in this game is going to be Indianapolis, because Jonathan Taylor is out for 2 to 3 weeks with a thumb injury.
Really?
So reinsert Zach Moss, who had a very good start to the 2023 season after missing week 1. Please let me reacquire him off the waiver wire. That would be great. Let's do that. But Tennessee's struggling. Yes, they got to win this past week, but it wasn't pretty. Derrick Henry kind of carried that team to victory. This division outside of Tennessee is sneaky good. Come on, Houston, Jacksonville, and Indy all playing at a very high level right now. Yep. But 1.5, I feel, is a little generous. You're giving credit to Tennessee. I could see Indianapolis not running away, but let's say jogging away with this one.
I can see a touchdown win.
I could see a touchdown. Gardner Minshew's doing enough in replace of rookie quarterback Anthony Richardson. Brandon and I will join Randy on this pick, a clean sweep of the Colts.
All right. So moving on. Next, we got the Los Angeles Chargers at the New England Patsies, the Rats.
Yep.
The Chargers are favored by 4.5. I like that. It could even be a touchdown. New England's just horrible. And honestly, it really feels like they're tanking and they're playing for a high draft pick.
Caleb Williams.
I think he's gonna be back next year, and I think he's gonna get his choice at a hand-picked quarterback.
Yeah, if anybody watches hockey and how rigged the NHL lottery was with Chicago getting the number 1 pick, Patriots continue to lose, Bill Belichick's getting that number 1 pick.
Oh yeah,
and he'll go get Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
And Bill Belichick will find a way to stay in New England and give everybody nightmares in that AFCs. You know how that works.
We'll see if he can actually develop a quarterback that's not named Tom Brady, though.
Exactly.
I'm going to go with the Chargers. Like I said, I like the 4.5. I can see them beating New England by anywhere upwards of 7.5 to 10 points. So, yeah, give me the Chargers in this one.
Forwards. Keenan Allen goes off.
Yeah, hope so.
The last time these two teams played, that a really big game, when the Chargers and the Patriots played in the playoffs, I think Brady was still quarterbacking the Pats at the time. Keenan Allen had a monster game. I think Antonio Gates was still tight end for the Chargers at that time.
Oh, wow.
It might have been their first year in LA, or maybe it was last year. I don't remember. The year's a little fuzzy. But Keenan Allen went off in that game. He had multiple touchdowns. Keenan Allen goes off. There's really nothing to like about New England. You don't know who their quarterback is. You don't know. Chargers, with as dismal of a season as they've, the Chargers know how to lose some games, folks.
Yeah, they do.
But if they lose this game, but once again, clean sweep. Brandon and I are joining Randy on the LA Chargers bandwagon.
Good. I mean, so far this tells me I'm going to win some games, but you guys keep winning every week. So this is good news for me.
There we go.
Right. Moving on, we got the Detroit Lions at the New Orleans Saints. Detroit Lions are favored by 3.5. I mean, both teams probably aren't playing their best football right now, but I think I'm going to go with the Lions. I mean, you saw what the Saints did. I mean, they racked up the yards and kicked 5 field goals. So I don't think they're getting away with doing that against like Detroit or something. And Detroit and they have shown like they can come back.
They can.
Done it. So
they have a good squad.
Detroit. I see Detroit winning this somewhere like 24-14.
Get me in the car, put it in drive, and take me to the Motor City. Detroit over New Orleans in the Big Easy. They need a bounce-back win after losing to the Packers on Thanksgiving morning. They're just a more complete football team than New Orleans Saints. No Michael Thomas. Olave had a concussion. He's questionable. They said he's probably going to play, but again, concussions, you never know. He could get another hit and could be out for the game.
Yeah.
Shaheed, their new wide receiver 2 that got elevated from 3 to 2 because of the Michael Thomas injury. He's questionable and probably unlikely to play. So you're really relying on a maybe healthy Olave and a couple of rookie wide receivers and really leaning in the passing game to Alvin Kamara, which I won't complain about. He's on multiple fantasy teams, so I'm not going to say no. But Detroit's the more capable and complete football team. And
what about Brandon? What's he got?
He if he was here, he would agree with both of us. Because guess what? It's another clean sweep for the Motor City Lions.
I'm definitely going undefeated this week. Look at that.
I know, right? Let the good times roll.
All right. So we're all on the same page so far. All right. We've already picked the Atlanta and the Jets in our preview show.
Yep.
So you'll see that. You'll see that at the end of the week. We're not going to get that away just yet.
No.
We're going to leave that one blank right now. So tune in either Thursday or Friday. I haven't decided yet, but I'll let y'all know for sure. You know me.
Who's going to pity the fool in that game?
Oh, the Jet fans are the fools, and everybody pities us. So we're going to skip over that one, leapfrogging it, and we're moving on to the Arizona Cardinals at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh, again, at home, and they are favored by 3.5. I'm not picking the Cardinals. I tried to pick them this past week. They let me down. I thought, okay, Kyler Murray's back. Maybe they got a little spark. No, I was wrong. Pittsburgh continues to do what Brandon hates that they keep doing, and that's winning ball games.
Yep.
Give me this one. Pittsburgh at home, especially against a team like Arizona. I could see Pittsburgh winning this game, I don't know, 24-17.
In the words of Brandon, they find a way to win.
Yep. They sure
Pittsburgh. They're going to do it again. And fun fact about the Pittsburgh Steelers. They lead the NFL this season in most second half comeback wins.
Wow.
Who would have thought? Them, out of all the teams, Pittsburgh, Kenny Pickett, Deontay Johnson, who doesn't know how to recover a fumble that's 2 inches from his feet. Oh, I didn't see it. But that team continues to win. What have the football gods done to them that keeps them in their good graces? I would love to know what Illuminati juices they're drinking. As Brandon says, Pittsburgh keeps on winning. And once again, I know it's boring, folks, but it's a clean sweep. Pittsburgh over Arizona in a Super Bowl rematch from about a decade or so ago?
2010?
Yeah, about Larry Fitzgerald against Ben Roethlisberger, Hines Ward, all that stuff.
Man.
Wild times.
I wonder who that was. Holy crap. Antonio Holmes, catch in the end zone.
Toe tapping, where the toe drag swag came in.
Man. All right, so clean sweep with the Steelers. Man, I'm going undefeated. This is great.
The next one the next one I think if Brandon was here, we would say in unison.
Yeah. So we got the Dolphins at the Commanders. Dolphins are favored by 7.5. I'm surprised. I figure they'd get a little disrespectful on this one, but 7.5. I can see that.
Sam Howell has played very well under center with the Commanders, but in honor of Brandon, he's not here tonight. He's got some work obligation. So in honor of Brandon and his lovely Commanders, Redskins, whatever you want to call them, Randy, say it with me on 3. Who are we picking? 1, 2, 3.
Dolphins.
It's a clean sweep once again. In honor of Brandon, just for you, we say Dolphins on 3.
You know you wanted to pick the Commanders.
Come on. We're tipping the hand at the poker table.
Oh, man, but I secretly hope Washington wins.
Yeah.
Come on, Sonya. All right, so moving on, we got the Denver Broncos at my Houston Texans, my boy C.J. Stroud. Let's see. Houston here is favored by 3.5. This was a little hard for me. Like, I've been on the Houston bandwagon quite a bit this year, as you all know. I love me some C.J. Stroud. That's my guy.
Yep.
He's my next Peyton Manning, I think. My next Brett Favre. I just, I always gravitate to somebody that's non-Jet, and this.
And you know when the Texans with head coach DeMeco Ryans really gets that defense like the 49ers of when he was there. Add a good free agent wide receiver with Nico Collins and Tank Dell.
Yep.
I think if they can actually establish a legitimate running game, Pierce and Singletary are not it. Go get, imagine if Houston went out in this offseason and signed Saquon Barkley.
Oh, wow.
Like a big free agent running back, because there's going to be a couple. Barkley's going to be one, and I think with the issues in New York right now, I think he's deuced. He's out. They're going to have quarterback troubles. Wide receivers are awful. If Houston goes out and gets like a Saquon Barkley type running back, CJ Stroud has another year in the league. You already have 3, or at least Tank Dell, Nico Collins, Dalton Schultz isn't a sham.
I'll do you one better. Imagine they get their hands on Bryce Huff.
DeMeco Ryans' ankle will mess around with the defense. He's a defense first guy.
Tell me they won't be in after his ass.
I'm not going to say no.
I'm telling you, I know hindsight's 20/20.
The 49ers could stack him. I'll take him with Fred Warner.
You should have traded him when teams were calling, dude.
Based on the way the season, who knows? But imagine what Houston can be in the future. They will compete.
I mean,
we digress.
They're in the thick of things.
They're in the thick of things
They're in the thick of things for the division.
Who the heck is Tank Dell before the last 4 weeks?
I don't even know who Del Tank is.
Dude, I'm telling you, a Saquon Barkley-esque running back in that backfield to balance that pass offense. Because I'm sorry, Dameon Pierce and Devin Singletary. You want to keep Singletary as your backup? Great. Dameon Pierce ain't going to get you nothing. Go get a bona fide running back.
Yeah.
And make that offense a beast.
Yeah.
And that's a good one for that division. But
I mean, so as we get back to this game.
Yeah, sorry. Digression.
No. I loved everything that was said right there. It was all phenomenal points. This was a little hard for me. I want to pick the Texans really bad because, I mean, they've come through for me more times than not this year.
Yep.
But Denver, dude, 5 games straight, they just seem to can't not want to lose.
Where are all the naysayers that's saying benching Russell Wilson was the best idea for this team? Is Russell Wilson playing MVP level? No. But he's doing the job. The defense has turned it around.
Enough to keep him in the games and help win. He's not losing games, that's for sure.
Everybody talked about dumping salary and getting rid of Patrick Surtain.
Oh, no, they're in the mix of the playoff.
They're in the mix of the playoff. They are a half game better than Buffalo.
Yep.
So I'll take a stab at this one. I love, and I know I just praised Houston up and down and what they can be, but I'm going to roll the dice with Russell Wilson and the Broncos in that defense. I thought Cleveland was going to take it to them and snap that. Denver did a 180 on me, and they impressed me very, very much. This for the first time, we're going to, reveal this one will not be a sweep. I'm taking the Broncos.
Let's hear Brandon's pick. I mean, he said he wasn't going to pick him again, but Dom, what do we got here?
Brandon's going for the good old CJ Stroud Texans. So we have some parity in the pick. So the tiebreaker goes to Randy. Will it be Broncos? Will it be Texans?
Man,
which country are you riding for? The Texan country or Broncos country?
Oh man,
let's ride.
Oh man, who's gonna let me ride? Well, it's hard, man. But that did not. Whoa! All bad choice of words. Let me ride, and it's hard. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for checking us out here on the One Jets Pod.
Parental.
My God.
Parental advisory.
I'm gonna get some flack for that one. I'm just gonna shut up. No, this one's tough, man. I think I'm going to go in your direction, Dom. I think I'm going to pick the Broncos here. I mean, they are the hotter team. They just can't seem to lose. The defense, I mean, they're playing really well. I mean, this is a team that's obviously they know they're in the playoff mix and they're playing like it. So, and I guarantee you they're probably going to continue playing like that. Houston's still a tough team to beat when you got CJ Stroud. But again, sometimes I think the lack of running game, sometimes the lack of experience sometimes comes to bite them in the butt, and I think that's going to happen here. So give me Denver, but give me Denver in a close game, 24-21.
CJ Stroud does know how to make it interesting and entertaining.
He does.
That I think out of all the games this weekend, that is my under-the-radar sneaky good game for sure.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that one. Looking at the schedule here, if I don't have 4 screens on, that's probably the game I'm watching.
Yeah, for under the radar pick of the week, I think we would have to give the under the radar pick of the week Broncos Texans.
Absolutely. Yep. So Dom and I are going to roll with the Broncos. We're Bronco country. Let's ride. Hopefully we ride to a victory over Brandon, who's picking the Texans this week.
Yep.
So, all right, moving on as we enter the afternoon segment of the NFL Sunday slate. We got the abysmal trash ass Carolina Panthers.
Coachless.
Mediocre Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, let me say real quick, while we were on the Texans just now, I meant to say this, because Frank Wright he just got outed in Carolina. Dude, I was reading that he originally wanted CJ Stroud, but was overridden by the GM. Yeah, overruled by the GM and the owner. And now he's out of a job.
That sounds like a coup.
That general manager over there is trash. That owner is impatient. He is not good. Carolina
sounds like a coup to me.
I'm telling you.
They lost the running backs coach and they lost their quarterbacks coach.
Yep.
So they are heavily coachless this week going into Tampa in a divisional game. What does that say to a rookie quarterback? We want to believe in him more, so we're going to get the right coaching staff around him. Yeah. Then you sold him a bill of goods when you drafted him.
And how many pieces have they traded away over the last couple of years?
Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. And DJ Moore.
And what do they have to show for it? Nothing.
Nothing. Just losses, dude.
No. So
and their coaches, you'd have to be a fool to pick Carolina, which is why I'm picking them this week. No, I'm kidding. I'm going with the fucking Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, I'm going to say, you thought that. No, Brandon and I are Tampa Bay is going to make Carolina walk.
Oh, yeah.
Walk the plank in Tampa. Let Baker cook with Mike Evans.
I see something 24-10, 24-7.
But I would not be surprised if Carolina has a newfound resurgence with what they did. I don't think so. But, based on how this NFL season has gone, based on how the season has gone for all teams, weirdness could ensue.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. But we're all going to stick with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on this one. Clean
You got
sweep of the Bucks. Arr.
You got it.
I'm so stupid. All right, moving on. We got the Cleveland Brownies at the Los Angeles Ramsicles. All right, we got the Rams favored by 1.5. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Rams in this one. I picked against them
really?
last week. Yeah, I picked against them last week, and they kind of bit me in the butt. And I just don't trust the quarterback play of the Browns right now, man. And PJ Walker was playing. Maybe.
Yeah. I know PJ Walker got into the game last week against the Broncos to try to ignite a little something, but it didn't work. Broncos defense is very good.
Very good. Yeah.
But the Rams have their weapons back. Higbee got into the action last week with multiple touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Cooper Kupp isn't as effective, but he's still a legit threat in this league whenever he is on. Puka Nacua is nice, and their running back Kyron Williams came back and went off. Over 34.5 fantasy points, multiple touchdowns in the air, on the ground. Even though Matthew Stafford's not as good as he once was, he's got the pieces.
Yep.
And Cleveland's defense is no joke still.
Nope.
But I think the Rams are gonna, and Brandon agrees with me. It's a clean sweep of the LA Rams.
Yeah, I think it's just gonna come down to quarterback.
If the Rams do indeed pick up victory in this game, I think, and Seattle loses to Dallas on Thursday Night Football, by all my calculations, they would be even at 6-6 for second place in the NFC West, and that would catapult the Rams into somewhat of a playoff. They're currently the 9 seed. So if the Rams win, Green Bay loses, and Seattle loses, Seattle, Minnesota, and the Rams, because the Vikings have the bye week, would be in a 3-way tie for the 6th seed.
Oh, wow.
And the Rams are getting healthy.
Getting interesting, man.
That little fringe 6 and 7 seeds are getting interesting.
Yep. Wow.
Yep.
All right, so clean sweep of the Rams. So moving on, game of the week for Mr. Dominic Lorenz. And honestly, I don't know how this is not the Sunday Night Football game, dude.
Yeah.
I'm looking down there at the Sunday night game, and I'm like, really? Like,
yeah.
Super Bowl II rematch? Like, seriously?
Yeah.
No, we got the San Francisco 49ers, faithful to the Bay, as Dominic always says, going into Philadelphia, taking on the Eagles. Philadelphia is actually favored by 1.5. My guess is that's home field advantage there. I'll let Dominic have this one real quick. I'm just going to make my pick.
Do it.
I hate to say it, Dom. I'm going to go with the Eagles in this one, only because home and the fucking refs, dude.
Yeah. So
give me the Eagles, but I think it's going to be close. Give me something like 24-21 Philadelphia, but I think the refs are going to have a hand in this one, brother. So you want to give Brandon's real quick, and then the floor is all yours for this one.
Yeah, Brandon is going to go with the red and gold. San Francisco 49ers. Brandon's got the Niner bandwagon this week. My take on this game, I agree with you. There could be a couple hands in this game in the cookie pot, and the refs are one. You saw all the blown calls against the Buffalo Bills.
Thank God.
Late hit on the quarterback, horse call a tackle, passing.
Horse call was nuts, dude. I'm like, really?
His jersey is ripped, and you're like,
oh my God, you got to put on a new one.
Yeah, man. The weather, weather could be a factor. It could be a similar weather game that Buffalo saw in Philadelphia, 40s, rain, misty, all that good stuff on the East Coast. This is going to be more than a game. This is all the talk, all the banter from last year. Mm-hmm. Eagles have already talked about it. They're already talking about it after Sunday's game. Media's already asking them about it, and they're like, 49ers can cry all they want. They can come into our house and do whatever they want, but we know who's better. And, it's all the jab. Who cares if you didn't have a quarterback last year? We're going to beat your ass anyway. It's all the, all the smuck talking. And I'm like, the Niners players are, saying it slowly but surely. But it's like, you know what? Let them do the talking. You go perform on the field.
Yep.
And, the Eagles need to be cut down a little bit. Because even though they're 10-1, they are playing to me like the Niners, 8-3. They've gotten away with a couple. Buffalo should have had that game. Dallas probably should have beat them a couple weeks ago. Courtesy of the Jets, the Eagles are not undefeated. So,
wait, who beat the Eagles?
This team in New York that's not the Giants. The Jets. They actually have a win. But for the 49ers' sake, they're healthy. McCaffrey's on a roll, Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, the whole band. I talk about it every week.
Yeah.
This team is going to be juiced up. Brock Purdy is going to be calm about it, but that bitch is juiced up. He played 1.5 drives in that game and was out tearing up his elbow. He is itching to get back in. And the conversation all week, because based on our picks, it says Eagles by 1.5.
Yeah.
In other picks, they're saying the Niners by 2.5. So every other media site and every other thing is having a different pick. And of course, the media, all they're talking about on the morning shows and everywhere else, they're only focusing on where the Niners are favored, because they're saying, how disrespectful, how dare you not give the Eagles home field advantage? They have the better record in this. How can you go against Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown and yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. It's like, if you look at the tapes, both teams are the class of the NFC. No doubt about it.
Top two teams.
But of late, if you look at the numbers breakdown, the Niners are better. Brock Purdy is MVP. I'm going to put it out there. I have my weekly Brock Purdy rant on this show, and it's continuing. And I'm not trying to oversell him, and I'm not trying to be, I'm going to be humble about it. Based on the numbers, based on the diagramming of plays, and when you break down footage, he's doing things that other quarterbacks aren't doing this year. He's making throws Patrick Mahomes is not making, not just because his O-line isn't allowing him to, but his receivers aren't catching him. And guess what? It's a two-way street. Quarterback can throw, but the receivers got to catch it to make the play happen. It's a two-way street. Purdy's making those dimes and his receivers. And guess what? They're making the catch, and they're not dimes. They're dots. Brandon Ayuk said it. It's a dot. Yep. That was if you watch that final touchdown to Ayuk on Thanksgiving night, that play was originally scheduled to be an 11-yard check down to McCaffrey just to get a first down. Brock Purdy said, screw it all. He's got behind the defender. Why am I going to handcuff myself for a cheap when I could go for the gusto? And I believe in myself, and I trust my arm on my back foot, backpedaling to tossing, and Ayuk's just like, thank you. This team, it's forward thinking. Nobody gives Brock Purdy credit for the throws that he's making again. But if you put Mahomes in his body, people are going off the walls. Mahomes made that throw. He could have done. It's all the same. The NFL does not want to give the MVP trophy to an irrelevant final pick of the draft quarterback. That's not for their brand. But you and I talked about this, Randy. Why wouldn't it be their brand? From nothing to something for he hopped Jimmy G, Trey Lance, who was supposed to be the future. Yeah, does he have weapons? Great. Just because you have weapons doesn't mean they're going to get utilized properly. Put the Giants quarterback DeVito in this offense. You think he does what Purdy does? Hell no. No offense, put Zach Wilson. Hell no. Sorry. Like,
Wilson can't even throw for first down, dude.
No. And put some, I don't care. And you know what's going to happen? If the Niners lose this game, they're going to disrespect the hell out of this team and Brock Purdy. He couldn't do this. We told you the Eagles would knock them on their ass. It doesn't matter what's going to happen. If the Niners win, well, it's just the Eagles having a bad day. They're hurt. Bitch, we had Debo and Trent Williams hurt for 3 weeks, and we lost 3. Lane Johnson, I got a sore groin. I'm going to sit out against Buffalo, but I'll probably be ready. But I might be hurt, and then that'll be an excuse. Like, Jalen Hurts, is he a good quarterback? Yes. Is he having an MVP year? Hell no. A.J. Brown's having a better MVP caliber season. Stop it. But I don't hold anything against the Eagles. This is going to be a battle of wills game. And Hurts is going to play his butt off. The receivers are going to play their butt off. Goddard could be coming back at the tight end after his forearm injury. That defense is still pretty good. Are they a top 10 defense? No, they're more of a top 15. They've lessened a little bit this year, but they're still dynamic enough to be 10-1. Regardless of what you say with refs, teams that are under record and they're beating the cheap teams, sure. They're still a quality team. You have to treat them like a 10-1 team. You have to go out there, slit their throat, and drink their blood.
Yep.
You got to go after it. So the Niners mentality at this point, honestly, F who you think they are and play your brand of football.
Yep.
If they're undefeated or winless, go out and do it. There's going to be trash talking. There's going to be penalties. There's going to be those extracurricular. Come on, Trent Williams backward body slammed 2 guys in that brawl last year. You don't think someone's going to try to go for him or he's going to, the Niners are going to do their thing. They're going to have the radio on the guy's shoulders. Debo and Trent are going to lead them out doing the dance with the, there's one thing I'm going to say. Philly fans. They are cheap trash. And I know our good buddy, I'm not saying our buddy like he's our friend, but, our God sent for the Angels, Mike Trout's a Fly Eagles fly man. But F that. I'm not going to say the word because I don't want to cuss too much, but F it. Those fans I could never see myself going to an Eagles game, man.
Dude, they got their kids walking up to opposing fans flipping birds, dude.
To me, that fan base is just ridiculous. Like, I couldn't even go to a game and enjoy it because I'd be, like, flipped off the whole game. It's like, if a 5-year-old is flipping me off, no.
Just the fan base that booed Santa Claus, man.
Come on.
Snowballs at him, too.
I should be loving Philly because, the Italian, Nick Sirianni, I'm Italian, you should be enjoying it. But it's like, no. So, you got to, hey, to be the best, you got to beat the best, and you got to beat the best sometimes in hostile environments.
Yep.
Sunday is going to be the most hostile environment the Niners will play in all season long.
It's like, I don't understand why this isn't a Sunday night football game.
No, and from now until the end
Monday night football game.
Well, every week I'm going to ask you and Brandon. I know Brandon's not here, but I think he would agree with me on this one, and probably you. From now to the end of the year, I'm going to ask you guys what game, because everything is possible to be flexed in at this point. For Sunday night football, Niners should have been flexed in. The only reason why Chiefs-Packers is not flexed out is because it's Patrick Mahomes on prime time. Yeah. And I guarantee you, NBC looked at Taylor Swift's schedule. She don't have concerts now until January.
Yeah.
She gonna be at Lambeau Field.
Yeah.
Okay?
I know what you're gonna ask. And honestly, dude, that's what I would do. I would flex San Francisco Philly into the Sunday night slot.
Yep.
And I don't know if you can because it's a 10 a.m. game, but I would put that Houston and Denver game in Monday night.
You could. Monday nights are the hardest to flex in because of the day separation.
Yeah.
But you're telling me Philly and the Packers couldn't switch 3-hour time slots? No. But again, if it was the Packers and Lions, Packers-Vikings, yeah. But it's because it's Kansas City and because it's the NFL golden child and Patrick Mahomes. You know how we all felt about Tom Brady in his early years?
Oh, yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is the new Tom Brady when it comes to the NFL love child. Okay? And he sounds like, I'm here. His little Kermit voice. But we'll talk about the Chiefs train in a second. Back to the Niners. Faithful to the Bay. Let's go into a hostile environment, kick some asses, take names, and show why Brock Purdy is the NFL MVP. I don't care if he's Mr. Irrelevant. His numbers speak for himself, folks. Stop it. He would have the Jets at 8 wins by now.
I think Brock Purdy ain't damn shit.
Come on, folks. So Niners.
This offensive line, but might get him hurt, but
I'm going to say this. Brandon and I on the Niners train. Screw Randy and his Eagles.
Yeah. I'm an ass.
Now, hey, it could be a game-winning field goal. It's one of those. It will be a close game.
Yeah, the refs. I'm jaded when it comes to the refs this year. So
I try
to keep that in perspective too, and they just seem to be like liking to help Philly out this year, man.
You do not want to be around me Sunday. It's going to be toxic.
All right. So, again, Dominic and Brandon with the San Francisco 49ers and myself with the Philadelphia Eagles. Best of luck to your boys this weekend, Dominic.
Thank you. Cheer well. Cheer
yes,
well.
I will. And moving on to the Sunday night football game, we got the Kansas City Chiefs. We've all seen that commercial back in the 90s. Against the Green Bay Packers. Kansas City is favored by 7.5. We are in Lambeau. I mean, Jordan Love has been playing pretty well.
Better.
But, Green Bay's, they're pretty much out of it. I can see the refs helping out Kansas City if need be. So, yeah, give me Kansas City in this one.
Brandon is taking the Chiefs, and I will take the barbecue ribs over the melted cheese. Give me the baked Swifties over the cheese. The baked Swifties over, or the barbecue Swifties over the Swiss cheeseheads.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
You know, how much Monopoly money do we want to put on Taylor Swift being at the game? I hate to bring this up every week, but it's the NFL puts it on themselves. And I'm going to put about $250 of Monopoly money. Taylor Swift is in attendance.
Oh, yeah.
Prime time?
I'd put whatever amount you start off with, I'd put it all on.
Yeah, put it all on. Hey, Taylor Swift's favorite color is red.
Oh, and her favorite number is 87. Again.
And what's 87 plus her favorite number 13? A perfect 100.
Oh,
it's a match in heaven.
Wow.
Ooh! But yes, Chiefs over Pack.
Yeah, let's move on.
We're making ourselves sick as we joke about it. It's like, hey, the script writes itself. Hey, this was in the NFL script in preseason. We just didn't know it.
How did we miss that one? All right, so we're all picking the Chiefs here, huh?
Correct.
All right. Moving on. Monday Night Football, December 4th. We have the Cincinnati Bengals, my Cincinnati Bengals, at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville's favored by a touchdown and a half. And, yeah, I mean, that sounds good to me. I mean, Cincinnati don't got their quarterback no more, so I don't see them doing too well. So give me Jacksonville 24-14.
Yeah, I got Jacksonville. Brandon has Jacksonville in this game as well. Cincinnati's quarterback, Jake Browning, didn't do as horrible as I thought he would this past week against Pittsburgh. But there's still a lot of room for Cincinnati to make up ground without Joe Burrow. Their defense is still pretty good. So, but Jacksonville's got weapons. They got Travis Etienne, Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram. That defense is coming along. And Trevor Lawrence is playing to the Trevor Lawrence capabilities over the last 2 weeks since they got dismantled by the 49ers and didn't know what they were doing. So maybe did the 49ers, jumpstart the Jacksonville season? Sure, Duval County, go for it. They'll be nutso gabutso on Monday night with the pool and everything. Give me Duval County. Clean sweep, Jacksonville. Rawr.
All right. And so Brandon has Jags winning 24-13, so that's 37 points. I said, 24-14? That's 38 for me. What do you got?
I'm going to go with 27-13 for a grand total of 40.
All right.
I like me a little Brandon McManus kicking the ball. So you know what? I'm not just saying that because he's on all three of my fantasy teams. I'm going to roll with, I take it back. I'm going to say Cincinnati's defense is decent enough. I'm going to get at least 3 field goals from McManus and 2 touchdowns. So that would be 23 and another touchdown. So I'm going to say 30-13, make it 43 total points. I'll give him an extra field goal in that sense. Because of McManus. The Irishman, McManus. If he's even Irish. I think McManus is Irish. We'll go for it.
All right, so that's going to do it for this week's episode here on One Jets Pod. Again, Dominic, thank you for joining me this week.
My pleasure.
So we can have Brandon, but hopefully we'll have him back next week.
Yes.
Before we head on out of here, I haven't done this the last couple of weeks, and I want to get back to doing this. I want to shout out all of our listeners out in the United Kingdom, Germany, and the Dominican Republic. Again, thank you all again for your support. It means so much to us.
So great.
Absolutely. And again, if you're checking us out on YouTube, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe button, as well as that bell notification so you're notified every time we drop some content. Again, if you're listening on the audio side of things, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, follow us, give us a 5-star. We appreciate that. It helps us out tremendously. Again, thanks for checking us out here on the One Jets Pod. Again, Dominic, thank you again for your services this week.
Of course, my pleasure.
What's that?
I said, my pleasure, man. I'm glad I could just slide right in, and I can never fill Brandon's co-host shoes, but we teamwork together, make the dream work, and we pick up Brandon. Thank you, Brandon, when you listen or watch this, for submitting your picks. We promise we did not alter any picks. We didn't alter anything. We're good.
Well, I still have the power of editing. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we could. But Brandon, we're looking forward to having you back next week,
Yes,
fans.
sir.
Thank you for tuning on in. Keep on coming back. The season's not over yet.
Unless you're Jeff.
Boy. Well, come on the Niner side of things. Be faithful to the Bay from the East Coast. Bring a little,
I got a little red and gold going on here.
bring a little East Rutherford to Santa Clara, baby.
I mean, I could wear Angels because I'm still mad at them.
Yeah,
So I had to go with the Fresno this week. I look behind me; it's all black. What you guys see isn't there. Painted on my wall.
What you see, fans, is a mirage.
Absolutely. So again, thanks for checking us out here on the One Jets Pod, and we'll see you down the road. Go Jets!
Welcome to Jet Life Stadium.
Hit it!